Hi Libra, this is Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot. I am in Carmel, Indiana. I am a Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, Sagittarius Moon. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. What I normally do is let flip, fly, or fall anywhere from 5 to 7 tarot cards. Take a look at that. Are you looking at life, love, career, or health? And then clarify with various oracle decks. So right now we have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups just came up, and the Three of Pentacles is kind of a partnership. Nine of Wands. Okay, so right at the moment, it makes me feel like you are sitting, you are reflecting, or you are contemplating. That's what I want to say. You are contemplating moving forward with some sort of a partnership. Queen of Cups and Queen of Cups, your emotions are good. So I think the Death card in reverse. So let me think. Okay, let me get at least one, if not two. I feel like I need two more cards. Something's not over, though. Okay, so Ten of Wands in reverse is feeling very, very overwhelmed. So something still has you feeling very overwhelmed and not... Okay, all right. So you're contemplating moving forward on some sort of a partnership. This could be a love partnership, a business partnership, whatever the case is, it's some sort of partnership. But something hasn't fully come to an end in order for this to happen, and you're feeling very overwhelmed. So there's something in your life right now that needs to end so we can flip all of the burdens over and move forward on this. So something's stressing you out, even though it's not necessarily mental stuff. Something's still not quite there. So let's see if we can figure out what that is. Let's do emotions. So what emotions are you currently feeling? This helps me take things to the next level. So okay, so emotionally, what are you feeling about because it feels like it's like two things. It's like you're contemplating the moving forward of the partnership, but something's not quite in place yet. Okay, something's not in place yet. Okay, so the first card that came out was fulfilled in reverse. So you're not feeling fulfilled. That might be one of the reasons you're like, I'm still not feeling fulfilled. And you know that coming into a partnership with another person before you are fully fulfilled could make things a little rocky. So that's kind of what you're thinking about is, what do I need to put into place to be fully fulfilled before I make the move on this partnership and move forward with it? The Jealous card came up. So that makes me think you've got some unresolved issues inside of you and trapped. Okay, so something about this relationship that you are contemplating going into, or this partnership that you're going into, there's just some stuff that's not quite cleared out of your emotional body. The Ashamed card. So there's some sort of shame about something in your life that you're still carrying with you. So powerless, it kind of flipped out on its side. I feel like that wants to be up. So there's something in your life that's still got you feeling a little powerless. And until you can understand and get rid of that and feel like you've got like control of everything, or I don't know if I want to say control. What is I'm looking for? What am I trying to say? Let me get a couple more cards. Okay, so I feel like I can feel the feeling, but I can't spit it out. Let me get a couple more cards here and see if I can figure out what it is that is not in place yet. Speaking your truth. Okay. Shy in the reverse would be not shy. You want to be, I feel like you want to be more in your truth. Okay. So you want to be more in your truth before you go into partnership with this person, because something's still kind of off in your world. And it could be because you misled this person a little bit, and they have one way of thinking about you because maybe you misled them about something, or maybe they think something and you just haven't corrected them on that thinking. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, they believe something, but it's not necessarily true, and you haven't really went, yeah, that's not the case. I don't have blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to think here. Okay, so let me think. What next question do I want to ask? Before you move, okay. What needs to be taken care of in your mind before you can take on this partnership? What needs to be taken care of in your world? So there's still some, I want to say, this says unawakened, but I feel like I want to say there's still some old programming that is in your soul that is tainting you. And that might be where that jealous card is coming out, and the feeling trapped, and the powerless. So there's some unawakened bits and pieces in you. So it's like you haven't fully cleared the slate for living in the new way the universe wants you to live. It's like there's a few, I'm like, why am I getting popcorn? Okay. There's still some popcorn pieces in your soul that rear its ugly head occasionally of old programming. And you're like going, I feel like I've got a pretty good grip on this, but every once in a while that old programming rears up, and I'd like for that to be completely gone. Or I feel like, or I feel like I need to express this to the other person. Kind of like, I look like I have my shit together, but I really don't have it as together, because there are times that I lose sleep at night because blah, 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 blah. Or there are times that I get really jealous because blah, 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 blah. Or, so it's a case of, I feel like if you just like speak those words and get that out on the table and go, there are still some times that, I feel really hurt when you do this. Or there are still some times that I worry about money. Or there are still some times when my family gets on my nerves and I need to vent about them, or whatever the case is. Whatever it is, it feels like if you just kind of speak that out into the open and say, I still have some things that I'm working through. The other person is probably going to feel a lot better, because I'm sure they're working through it too. I'm like, nobody's got it all 100% figured out. Although the other person may think you do, you probably would feel better if you went, I don't have it all figured out. I still worry about this. I still don't have this all figured out. And you guys can kind of go, okay, well then we'll work on this together. Compromise. Okay, so that kind of, compromise, like when you're having a bad day and maybe they're not, or whatever, the compromise, maybe that is something that still needs to be worked on between the two of you, is compromise. Maybe you've been giving more than they have, and that still bothers you, or whatever. So, purge. Okay, so, well, that feels like that's part of that, like the bits and pieces of unhealed, unprogramming, things, there must be still some things inside of you that's not quite gotten worked out of your system. All right, I feel like I'm stuck. Okay. You might still have a little bit of barrier around your heart. So you might not be completely open with this other person, and that's something that it's like you'd like to be completely open, or the other person is not completely open with you, and you are like, I'd really like for that to happen before I move into this partnership, because I need to know that they have that capacity. Contemplation. So yeah, the Hermit card hasn't come up, but it kind of feels like that's kind of where you're at right now. It's like you're like thinking and waiting, and it's like, do I move into this and not have everything into place and just kind of go with it, or do I try to get all my stuff in place first? I feel like that's where you're at, is like, what needs to happen first, the chicken or the egg? Will I get everything figured out if I move into this partnership first, or if I get everything figured out, well, then I move into this partnership? Does that make sense? What else? Let's get one more thing that you guys need to work out, or that's needs the bits and pieces that need to come out. Oh Lord, those went way out. Looks like some better communication needs to happen. And I did already say this. I said it felt like if you communicated with this other person about some of your doubts and fears and concerns, then that might move things forward a little bit better and make you feel safer about moving into this partnership. Okay, that makes sense. And refocus. Let me think. How does that refocus? Why is that something that needs to be worked on? Well, I keep hearing the word scattered. So for some reason, it feels like you've been a little scattered lately, and you'd like to get refocused before you move into any kind of partnership, I guess, is just, you don't like the scattered feeling because this partnership is going to take a lot of focus. Whatever the partnership is. Could be a love relationship, business relationship, whatever it is. There's some sketchy stuff in your brain that you haven't quite gotten figured out. So the bottom line is you need to get some answers before you're going to feel comfortable moving forward on anything. You need to get some answers before you are going to feel comfortable moving forward. Whether that is answers about yourself or answers from the other person, there's just some answers, some things that need to be answered before you can feel comfortable moving forward. All right, that makes sense. I'm going to do my goddess cards next. Okay, so let's say that you get your questions answered. And the doubt. Questions that you have about the doubt. There's some doubt. So what happens after you? What happens after you get your questions answered for yourself or in regards to this partnership? What can you look forward to? What can you look forward to? Breakfast. Why am I hearing breakfast? Oh God, that's funny. Apparently they're going to be spending the night. What can you look forward to after you get some of these questions answered? Oh, there's one. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Okay. So I guess that's saying there's no reason to stress out about this. If that partnership is meant to be, it's going to happen. Take your time and get everything figured out, and then you'll know what to do. What else can you look forward to once you get your questions answered? Purification. It's a time for a cleansing, detoxification of your body and mind. So if your mind is feeling a little toxic right now, that kind of makes sense with some of the negative thoughts that might be cropping up, and you're like going, I have some concerns about this and that and the other, and I don't have everything quite in place, and I wonder if these things that I haven't quite got in place yet are going to affect this partnership. So it looks to me like afterwards, there will be some detoxification, and maybe that other person is actually going to help you detoxify some of those negative thoughts. Or, you know, you can get them out in the open and just say, you know, I'm feeling like really blah, 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 blah today, and they can make you feel better and calm your mind. Kind of like, yeah, I was like that the other day, but it didn't last for very long, whatever. Sacred space. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. Oops. Bold. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks and be daring. So apparently you're going to... that's kind of a sexy picture too, now that I look at it. Something good's coming from the looks of it. Dang. I didn't want that many. That's way too many. Two more. All right. There's that boundaries card again. Didn't we already have the boundaries card? Or was that my last reading? Oh, maybe it was my last reading. I thought I had the boundaries card. Boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. So, I swear I said boundaries. I don't know. The boundaries card just came up. So that's something that you're going to have to keep an eye on if you come into this partnership. And maybe that's one of the things that you're worried about is, can I stand my ground and not let them like suck all the life out of me, because you don't have that even exchange at this point in time. Cycles and rhythms. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. So, like I said, there are days that you don't have everything together, and maybe you just need to express that to them and just say, some days I have a really, really bad day, and I don't know what causes it, but I just want you to know, don't take it personally. It doesn't have anything to do with you. I've been doing this my whole life, or whatever. So it just feels like the main thing is the concerns that you have can be resolved if you get some of the stuff that is in your head out in the open between the two of you. And I think if you have a discussion about some of that stuff, you will find they may have some of the same concerns, and maybe you guys discuss how to handle that. That's just the whole feeling about this, is all about some concerns that need to be addressed. So before you guys move into partnership together. All right, I'm going to stop there. Happy birthday to you Libras out there. Mine's on the 10th, so I will talk to you middle of the month. Bye.